And Raleigh from Bangalore, welcome. So you can see we're just about a minute away from starting. Bud. Hi, everyone. Venkatesh. Ranjan from Noida. Andhra Pradesh, cool. Sanskriti, Ramchandru. Okay, so let's get started. Stop sharing that clock, and we'll start sharing our presentation. So I'm going to start by introducing the presentation and Seema, our guest speaker. Welcome everyone to our career masterclass on becoming a general management expert, especially with the IIM Indore Executive Certificate in General Management. I'm Stuart Creek. I'm from Simplilearn. Oops, there we go. I'm going to start off with a poll question for our audience. Make sure we're doing the right thing. So how many years of experience do you have? Here's the poll widget coming up. You can go ahead and answer in the poll widget. Watching the numbers change, and we'll keep this open just for another 10 seconds. Get your answers in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Almost half of our audience are people with more than 5 years of experience. So this is a fairly seasoned audience, but we do have a number of people who are still studying for their degree. So this is a pretty good mix. And Kalyani, don't get too far ahead of us, please. I'd like to introduce Seema, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen, so Seema, so that you can start sharing yours. Is that all right?
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so I'll stop sharing and you can go ahead. You'll be able to introduce yourself. Hello.
Yes, Stuart. So should I introduce myself, or will you do the honors?
I'll start off by telling people that you are a career coach. You've worked with us on other webinars, giving career advice and helping people understand the role of different skill sets in their careers, especially the power, kind of what you call power skills. And
yeah,
what we're going to be talking about today is general management, and you'll be bringing us insights into how those power skills fit into that framework. So if you would like to tell people about your background and experience, and especially the books you've written, love to hear about that.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Stuart, for that introduction. And I am a career enhancement coach, author, communication specialist, personal branding strategist, And of course, I have about over 26 years of experience in the academics field, also in the training and coaching industry. So for now, let this suffice. I'm also a trained TTT and soft skills trainer. Through the course of the webinar, perhaps I will be talking more about all these things. And I think let us start with the webinar. Is that okay? So if it is okay with everyone, good evening, all the participants over here. And this is a very important webinar today, a career masterclass on how to unlock success by becoming a general management expert. So let me begin by telling you a story. Rohit was a brilliant student who had won several accolades for his outstanding performance throughout college. He had an equally wonderful start to his career, quickly climbing the ranks, and he was much sought after due to his expertise in his domain. Over a period of time, however, Rohit became complacent with his success. He did not feel the need to keep up with the changing trends, the evolving trends in his industry, new technologies, innovations, new market demands came in, but he was oblivious to all of those. His colleagues and co-workers, however, gained, acquired, and adapted new skills, new knowledge in order to stay relevant in the industry and in their organization. Soon, Rohit found that his career had become stagnant and his younger colleagues were overtaking him. So he then realized that the lack of upskilling and the lack of a mindset that promotes continuous learning were the culprits which had resulted in his stalled career. So he also understood that you need to stay ahead of the curve. You need to gain practical experiences, latest advanced knowledge if you want to have good career growth. It was then that he decided to take action, but by that time he had lost precious years and he had missed a lot of opportunities. So does this sound familiar? I think we have all seen, or at least we have all heard of such a scenario play out in our workplaces, where very promising careers have been put on a standstill because the person did not take very active interest, or they were not proactive about their career growth. So today, this is what we will be focusing on, how to make your career more and more enhanced through a general management program. So now, as is evident from the poll that Stuart just ran at the beginning of the session, a lot of you are students and job aspirants. Perhaps you will be embarking on your careers shortly. And several of you are also already established, already working with a number of years, maybe 3 or 5 years of service, 3 or 5 years of experience, and you're looking to enhance and scale your careers. Now, however, this is easier said than done. Because in today's scenario, in the present scenario, securing a job is very difficult, let alone scaling and enhancing and reaching the leadership levels, reaching more senior levels. And so today, I will be focusing on 3 important aspects. And before that, as Stuart has said, let me introduce myself. So I am Seema Sahay, career enhancement coach, employability skills trainer, author of 4 books, communication specialist, and a personal branding strategist. And I have over 26 years of experience in the learning and development field. And as a career coach, I have transformed the professional journeys of thousands of my clients. So today we will be focusing on 3 crucial elements of your professional growth. Number 1, the importance of continuous upgradation so that your expertise remains viable and valuable in the market. Number two, an overview, a holistic view of the various business functions in any organization and how best you can learn them. And number three, how can a general management program develop and inculcate power skills in you so that you can thrive in a dynamic environment? So if you're all ready to begin, let us I want some, maybe the chat box is open, so just write ready or ready to learn, and we shall start with the 3 mantras. So please type ready to learn or RTL in the chat box and let us begin. So as I said, the market is very volatile, and there is a lot of competition, and there have been massive layoffs, and AI, artificial intelligence, is also a very real threat for some of the jobs. Of course, artificial intelligence is very exciting, and we have all welcomed it with open arms, but there are certain jobs which are going to be affected by it. So in this kind of a situation, in 2023 and going further, going beyond, people are not going to be hired for what they know, but for their ability to learn what they do not know. So according to a survey by Evolution, 96% people see a positive impact of continual learning on their work performance and career prospects. So, and if you add value to your organization, that is the only way you can remain indispensable and relevant. So keep on adding value, and you will definitely enhance your careers. And one of the best ways to prove your value as a job aspirant, as a working professional, is to have a solid understanding of the key functions of any organization. And what are the key functions? Again, all of you might be aware, a few of you might be aware that there are, for any successful management of an organization, you need to focus on 4 important areas. And they are finance, marketing, operations, and human resources, or organizational behavior. So you need to learn the theoretical as well as the practical aspects of these 4 areas, these 4 functions. And you need to do it in an effective manner. Now, learning in an effective manner does not mean struggling on your own and wasting number of years trying to learn the ropes. In fact, it makes sense to enter into a structured learning program, such as a general management program, and get cutting edge insights, cutting edge knowledge, and hands-on experience into these 4 areas, and not just these 4 areas, but also a lot more. So another advantage of these programs are that they are flexible and self-paced. That means you can learn these, you can go through this course at your own convenience in your own time. So that is a very big benefit of joining a general management program, which is online, and it can be very, very beneficial. Now, what is exactly a general management program, and why is there a need for it? As I said, such programs are aligned with the current industry requirements, and the method of learning is primarily through real life case studies. And you will be given real life situations, real life challenges, and you need to come up with a solution with with an option or maybe several options on how to solve them. So, for instance, let me give you an example. Now, suppose you are leading a team, or suppose you are a manager in your organization. Now, you have to interact with your team members. You have to interact with your, you have to manage your employees. You have to interact with your seniors. You have to perhaps negotiate with your customers and clients, and also you have to focus on all other stakeholders. Now, to do all this in an effective manner, you need to have an understanding of the various departments in your organization, because you cannot function in isolation. So interdepartmental competencies are very, very important. So a person who has been trained in general management can be more effective in this area rather than a person who has not been trained in it. Now, let us look at the kinds of learning that you have. What kind of a learning will you have in such a program? So basically, in any general management program, you will have three kinds of learning, and that is academic learning, peer learning, and experiential learning. So academic learning is what you are taught by your instructors, by your professors, by the faculty. Peer learning is what you learn, with interactions with your classmates. And your classmates can constitute a diverse group. They can come from various backgrounds, nationalities, age groups, experiences. They can be someone with 10 years of experience, and they can be someone with 0 year of experience. And by interacting with them, by collaborating with them on projects, on assignments, on teamwork, on group work, and exercises, you gain a lot of perspective. So this is peer learning. And after this, whatever you have learned in class needs to be applied practically. That is experiential learning, when you actually work on case studies and try to solve them, try to find problems with them, go out in the field and try to look at real life challenges. So that is experiential learning, and when you are working on case studies and projects. So this is briefly what the program might constitute. Now, let us look specifically how this kind of a program will add value for a student or for a job aspirant. So as I said earlier, it provides a solid understanding and a solid foundation in the key business functions such as finance, economics, marketing, operations, HR, business analytics, business strategy, and design thinking, among others. So if you complete your general management program from a reputed institution, it adds credibility and recognition to your student profile. And also, if you are formally educated and you gain a certification in general management, your employers, recruiters, etc. will gauge, they will see, they will perceive that you are committed, you are proactive about your professional development. And everyone likes this kind of employee who is proactive about his or her professional growth and development. Next, if you are trained in the business fundamentals, your job prospects definitely will broaden. You will have more job prospects. You can become a management trainee. You can become a project manager. You can also take up consulting roles, consulting positions in companies and also in startups. So that is also very popular these days, becoming consultants in startups. And last but not the least, this program, this certification will improve your versatility. You will become more versatile. And why so? Because it will equip you with a very broad skill set. And by a broad skill set, I do not just mean the core functions that we have been talking about, but also it will develop, it will inculcate, it will leverage your power skills, which are so sought after these days. So all the employers and recruiters and organizations want people with that X factor of power skills, also called soft skills, also called transferable skills. And why are they called transferable skills? Because once you imbibe them, once you learn them, you can apply or you can transfer these skills across roles and across industries. And that is why it is very important, and it is oft neglected also, but it is a very important thing to be having in your arsenal if you are looking to enhance your career growth. So this was about students and job aspirants. Let us see how a certification in general management can add value to established or maybe early and mid-career level professionals. So here what happens is sometimes these professionals are, they feel that their career has reached a plateau, that not much professional growth is happening, not much professional growth is taking place. Maybe they are not getting the kind of lucrative roles or assignments that they want. And perhaps the reason for this could be that they are lacking the skill sets that will make them effectively handle these kind of roles. So in this situation, what do you need to do? You need to differentiate yourself. You need to stand out. And how do you stand out? What is that differentiating factor? So you can differentiate yourself by following the 3 U's. And what are the 3 U's? They are unlearn, upgrade, and utilize. So unlearn, by unlearn, I mean you have been doing a certain thing in a certain way for a long period of time, and you have not tried to upgrade yourself. You have not tried to learn newer ways of doing it. And whatever you have learned 10 years back, the same thing you're doing now. You are in your comfort zone. You do not feel the need to challenge yourself. So the thing about unlearn is you need to come out of your comfort zone and try to upskill. See which skills there are in this industry which you are lacking, and you try to upskill and upgrade your knowledge. After doing this, after unlearning, after upgrading, you need to utilize this. That is, whatever you have learned, you need to utilize your learning to the specific challenges in your role or in your organization or in your industry. So this is what professionals with a few years of experience can do. Following the 3 U's. Now, there are certain people who are also looking for career transitions. People, professionals who are looking to transition into other roles, other jobs, even other careers. They totally would like to change their career, their field. So how will a general management program help them? So as I said, it will provide an opportunity to acquire new skills and enhance existing ones. And your knowledge and expertise will now, after completion of the certification, it will now align with the industry demands. Also, you might get placement assistance. After completing the program, you might get placement assistance and guidance as to the future course of action. And at this stage, when you have 5 or 6 years of experience, you're also looking to transition into leadership roles. So such a certification program will offer you a lot of opportunities to gain and acquire and polish your leadership abilities, your leadership skills. So that way it is very, very beneficial. And of course, it will give you a lot of industry exposure and practical experience, because the learning is going to be experiential primarily. And last but not the least, you will, of course, be eligible and entitled for better compensation, because you have now advanced knowledge and skills, and you will be able to enhance your career to more senior levels, to executive level positions. So this is about the students and professionals and for the people who are looking to transition. And there is one common thread that runs through all these profiles, whether you are a job seeker, or whether you are looking to transition, or whether you are already established. And that common thread is that it offers you a very strong professional network. Now, why so? Because you are interacting with your peers. You are interacting with your instructors, with your professors. And also, you are, once you have completed this course, you will become a member of the alumni group. So that phenomenally expands your network. Why? Because there are people, as I said, from all kinds of backgrounds and industry experiences, and it will open doors to a lot of opportunities, lot of job opportunities, lot of recommendations, lot of referrals. And also it will provide you very valuable insights into the industry. And also if you need mentorship, if you're confused about something or if you want to learn something, it can also, you can approach the members and you can also get guidance and mentorship in that alumni association. So so these are the benefits that you will have once you complete the certification course. And so considering how strategic a management program is to your professional and personal growth, it is important to make an informed decision. Choose a reputed certificate program based on your career goals, based on your aspirations, and based on your interests, of course, and one which offers you the maximum ROI. So that is also very important. Something that offers you the maximum ROI. A very reputed institution will definitely do that. So choose the course with care. And now we come to the third most important element, that is how an executive certification program can foster power skills, which are so sought after, as I said, which are so prized by employers and organizations these days. So these soft skills or these power skills are your personal attributes, which again prove to be a differentiator. Now, the power skills are again your differentiator to beat the competition and to ensure continued workplace success. Because there are so many people who would be an expert in the domain knowledge, but there are very few people who will have the power skills, who will have that X factor, as I said, the competitive advantage that soft skills or power skills can provide to your personality and your profile. So then the question is, so now you can look, this is the Future of Jobs survey, and this is a report by World Economics Forum. And amongst the top 15 skills of 2025, you can see a lot of power skills are there. Mostly they are power skills and very few technical skills. So analytical thinking, innovation, and then you have active learning, complex problem solving, critical thinking, critical analysis. All these things are there, and they have been recognized to be very, very important by the World Economic Forum. So these are a few statistics that World Economic Forum, WEF, has published in their report. So 6 in 10 workers will require training before 2027. The highest priority for skills training from 23 to 27 is analytical thinking. Leadership and social influence, resilience, flexibility, curiosity, all these things are very important. Lifelong learning are other skills employers would be focusing on. And what is lifelong learning? It is continuously upgrading your knowledge and your skills. And today, organizations feel that skills gap and a lack of talent are the key barriers to transforming the industry. So these are the things we need to keep in mind when we go in for training, because a person who is trained in these things definitely has an advantage on a person who is not trained on these power skills. So now the question arises, how does this course or how does this certification inculcate power skills in you? So as I said earlier, students are often in the classroom, students are often divided into teams and given complex problems, complex business situations for which they need to find solutions. For instance, let me give you an example. Now, for instance, you are working in a company and you have been asked to revive the falling revenues of your company. So what do you need to do first? You need to sit down and strategize. You need to make decisions, perhaps take tough decisions. You need to implement changes. And then after that, you will turn the company. You will sort of increase the revenues of your company. So in doing all this, the first thing that you do is you promote or you encourage open communication where each team member's voice is heard. So you have to have a very collaborative atmosphere, a collaborative environment where team members share their ideas in a very frank and open manner. And also, if you have to create a collaborative environment, you need to have very good interpersonal competencies. Because if you do not have good interpersonal competencies, you will not be able to have that kind of a collaborative environment. Now, when you have this kind of interpersonal competencies, you will be able to motivate everyone, each and every member. You will be able to motivate everyone to come up with their best ideas and to put in their best efforts. Only then can you make a decision, and there will be lots of opinions because there will be lots of opinions because there are so many team members and you want to take everybody's opinion. Of course, the ultimate decision will be yours, and there can be differences of opinion as well because people are all different individuals. So ultimately you have to decide which is the best option and then go through with that. So now I want to ask you, when you are doing all this process is going on, what is that skill that you are developing? What is that one power skill that you are developing when you are going through this process? Can anyone tell me in the chat? Can anyone tell me? Okay, it is you are developing your leadership skills. You are developing your leadership skills, and this is one of the foremost skills that is taught in a general management program. And in the process of developing your leadership skills, you are also learning good communications, apt communications. You are learning, you're refining your interpersonal capabilities. You are learning collaboration. You are learning motivation. You are learning decision making. And you are learning so many other skills which are very important when you are working in any organization and when you are aspiring for a leadership role. So these are all the competencies that you can develop in a general management program, because such problems you will be working on regularly in the classroom situation, and that is why you can develop these power skills. So let me give you one more example of power skill that you can develop. So for example, you are you are the member of a procurement team in your organization, or maybe even the sales team, and you want a particular person, a reputed vendor to supply material to your company. Now, his charges are very high, his prices are very high, and your organization cannot afford it. So in that case, what will you do? You will arrange a meeting with the vendor, with the supplier, and you will tell them your budget, to which, of course, they will not agree. So then you tell them that if he provides the material at your price, you can give him certain added benefits. So you can offer him a long-term contract, maybe for the next financial year, in which only that vendor will supply to your organization. You can also tell him that there will be chances of him supplying increased volumes of material if he supplies it at your price. So then he will understand that this kind of a thing will ensure that he has a steady and growing revenue stream. So these kind of talks are a win-win situation for both the parties. Again, you are developing a skill when you are talking like that, when you are discussing things like that. And what is that skill that you are developing when you are discussing with the other party? You are developing the skill of negotiation, the subtle art of negotiation, which is the number two skill after leadership, which is the number two skills that companies prize. And they appreciate people who are good negotiators. So this is the skill that you learn, and also called persuasion, also called negotiation. And in the process, again, in the process of all this discussion, you are also learning other things, and you are able to develop your strategic thinking. Strategic thinking means, what can I offer him? What is the long term gain if I do this? So that is strategic thinking. And also you are learning how to be flexible and adaptable. So when you deal with such problems in the classroom situation regularly, you will have enough fundamental knowledge to apply this in your organizations. That is in your professional life and also in your personal life, because power skills have a lot to do with your personal attributes. So as I said, there can be, as I always say, there can be no professional growth without personal growth. So you cannot grow your career unless and until you grow yourself. And that is why power skills are so important. And an executive certificate program definitely fills this gap. So let me end with this part of the webinar with a beautiful quote by Stephen Covey. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. So take that decision now and join a certificate program in general management. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Seema. And I've put into the chat where people can find it, that link to the Google form. Can you describe what that's for?
Yes. So there is a link that, Stuart will be adding in the chat. Is it already added? He will be sharing that in the chat, and please take out some time to fill it, and it'll take just about 1 minute and you can submit it. So fill out that form. And now I am welcome for any questions. You are all welcome to ask any questions before Stuart takes it forward and talks about the rest of the presentation.
Yeah, and we had a few questions that came in from the Q&A. We had a question from someone who is in the data science field. Can you comment on how this information that you've shared helps in that field?
The data science person. So no matter which field you belong to, you are in data science, but to enhance your career, you always need power skills, because there might be two people with the same kind of qualifications, the same kind of expertise, but do you have the practical experience which a general management program will provide to you? Do you have the problems? We can be struggling for years with, and you will be struggling for years with certain problems. And here in a structured learning program, you will get them regularly in the class and you will be solving them so effortlessly. So isn't that a better option rather than, going on for years and acquiring experience and then applying it? So this will be where everything will be taught, the theory as well as the practice will be taught to you in a structured manner. So that is the advantage. And you can, of course, in the process, as I said, you can, enable your power skills, which again is a differentiator for you to either go to the next level or to remain at the same level. So that is a very big differentiator.
Mm-hmm. We had a comment in the chat, someone who's a job aspirant who feels a lack of confidence. What can a person in that situation do to feel more confident and be more assertive in their presentation?
Okay, so if it is lack of confidence in the professional realm, suppose you are feeling unconfident when you're working at the workplace, then first of all, you have to make a few changes. You have to see that your communication skills are on par with everyone else, at least on par with everyone else, if not better. Because maybe you have all the knowledge and all the expertise, but you're not able to communicate yourself well. Perhaps during the presentations, perhaps during the meetings, you're not able to speak up. You're not able to convey what you're thinking, your ideas in a very effective manner to your bosses, to your seniors, and that is why perhaps you are overlooked also. And another thing, another reason for lack of confidence could be in the workplace, could be you are not sure about your technical knowledge. You are not sure about your subject matter expertise. So unless and until you are sure about your subject matter expertise, you will always flounder. And if you flounder, you will lack confidence. So be sure about what you are, about your role and what it entails. Go beyond that and keep on learning and reskilling. So this is what this entire webinar was about. Keep on learning and upskilling, and when you are confident about your role at the workplace.
Thank you. Avinash has a question from the other direction, which is for someone with more than 20 years of experience, how will this program help, both in terms of the skills you've talked about and in terms of general management program?
Yes. So you have 20 years of experience. That is a very good thing. But do you have knowledge of the latest advancements? Do you have the knowledge of the latest industry trends that are taking place? Because industries are always evolving, skills are always evolving, and you need to be continually upgrading yourself. You do have a lot of experience, but is all that relevant now and today? In the present scenario, you need to perhaps upskill in certain areas so that your younger colleagues, they are coming in with newer ideas and newer technologies, newer advancements, newer knowledge. You should be able to not fall back on those kind of things, and you should always keep on upskilling to remain relevant. So you might be having a lot of experience, which is very useful, but also that experience should be relevant, and which it should be with the industry trends that are happening right now. So that is the advantage you can have.
Thank you. We have a couple of questions about MBAs. One from a person who has done their MBA, working as an executive. What advice would you give for someone who wants to, from that position, grow in the management field, move up the chain of management?
So if you have done your MBA, then is there any difference between what your position was earlier and what is it now? Maybe you have, scaled and enhanced your career, and maybe you have reached leadership levels. If you have not done that, then you need to start applying whatever you have learned in your MBA. You need to start, applying the power skills. But because, as I said, power skills are the biggest differentiator. So do you have the kind of leadership skills that are required for reaching the top levels? Because at the top, there is room only for 1%. So that is a qualifier. So you have your qualifications, make full use of it, make full use of your power skills, and try to reach the topper echelons. This is what I would advise.
Thank you. I can mention that this program from IIM Indore is different from their formal MBA program.
Yes,
this is a executive certification.
This is only for 6 months. Yeah.
Right. We have a question from someone in their first year who is curious to know, what the timing would be for moving into general management studies.
After your graduation, I think that would be the earliest you can join. So complete your graduation in whichever subject you want to, because the advantage would be that when you are in your undergraduate and all that, you are studying specific subjects like science stream, maybe arts or maybe commerce. and you are learning facts over there. Those are all frozen facts. However, to develop an analytical mind, to develop an analytical mindset and analytical thinking, you need to join these kind of certifications, because then you, as I said, you will be asked to solve various challenges, industry specific challenges. These are the kind of things you will not learn in your undergraduate and undergraduation courses. And that is why it makes sense to join these courses and try to develop your mind in so many diverse ways. So I think after your graduation, yes.
Thank you. We'll be talking about specifics of the program, the duration, the cost, and the curriculum in just a few minutes. But last kind of roundup question. We have several people from different backgrounds: project management, operations, digital marketing. Can you comment on how taking certification in general management can help people from a specific domain or specific functional area to be more effective?
Yes, because when you are joining a general management program or a certification program, you will be taught all the various functions. As I said, if you are a product manager, you need that is your specialization, but you need to have an understanding of how all the other departments work. Because if you're not aware of how the sales department works, or the finance department works, or the operations work, how will you operate in an effective manner? So that is why, to gain a very, very foundational, a very, very solid knowledge of all the areas, because you will see later on in the IIM Indore program, they offer a lot of trainings in different areas. And this is what is going to add to your profile. So even if you are a product manager, you will gain by learning the workings of all these other departments, and it will make you a more analytical, a more critical thinker and a worker. So these are the ways in which you can become more productive at work.
Thank you. We're going to move on. I want to apologize to everyone whose question we couldn't get to due to time, but I want to thank Seema for the answers that she shared. And
thank you.
You can also, for the people who've been asking questions about developing those power skills, they can contact you directly to talk about coaching in those areas, correct?
Definitely. I have been coaching clients on power skills for a long time now, and you can definitely get in touch with me. And at the end of the presentation, there is a slide in which all my contact details are given. So you're welcome to get in touch with me anytime.
Okay. So let's talk about this program from IIM Indore, which is the Executive Certificate Program in General Management, IIM Indore being one of the leading institutions in India and indeed the world for management studies. This is a 6-month program designed to be flexible for working professionals, so it only requires a commitment of about 10 hours a week. But it covers a comprehensive curriculum. Again, it's not an MBA program, but it covers many of the same types of learning. And it, as Seema described, it is very well-rounded in covering all aspects of general management. It uses online live virtual classrooms, so you're not just looking at videos or listening to lectures, but you're interacting with your instructors. You're doing integrated case studies so that you create examples of your work throughout this program. And so this becomes something where you have a portfolio of examples by the end of that 6-month period. So as we move on, I mentioned IIM Indore, extremely reputable institution, established in 1996, with an auxiliary campus in Mumbai as well. And it is ranked very highly among the institutions in India, 7th in the National Institution Ranking Framework, 25th in global rankings of Asian institutions, and it's fully accredited by the relevant educational and management education bodies. So a certificate with the IIM Indore name is something that will be recognized. Now this staircase, this is the steps that you go through in the curriculum to get to the final certification. And it seems daunting, but these are actually fairly easy to understand and go through in the way that we've designed the program and the way that the program is presented. So you start off with an orientation session that helps you understand where to find your classes, how to use the digital platform you'll be learning on, where the community features and other support features are, and an overview of your program curriculum. Then you move into the foundational overview course that gives you an idea of the different aspects of management and what the purpose of management is within organizations. There's a module on economics, followed by a module on accounting and financial management, so that you understand the role of managing financial resources within the organization. Then into operations, supply chain management, day-to-day running of the movement of products and services as they're delivered to, produced and delivered to your customers. Marketing management, how your products are promoted to customers, the selling process. Then into human resources. Then into analytics tools and being able to understand how to run your program operations or organization from a data-driven perspective and what tools you can use for that purpose. Management and leadership, some of the softer skills in terms of interpersonal interactions, how to lead by example, lead by persuasion. Then into business and strategy, looking at what potential directions you can take your organization in the future, not just looking at the way you're managing what you do today. Design thinking, extremely critical tool for understanding how customers will use your products and services and how to design them in a way that delights your customers. Module on digital disruption and innovation, as we've seen in the last several years, so much of our lives have moved into the digital domain. Things that we used to be doing face to face, we're now doing through the intermediary of the computer screen. And so understanding how our world continues to change, especially with things like ChatGPT and other new technologies, is very important. And the program culminates in a capstone project in which you're given a scenario. You can choose from several different industry domains. You'll take that scenario, a challenge to design a general management response, and you will build your solution to that with the mentorship of your program instructor, so that you end up with a final individual project that demonstrates your comprehensive understanding of general management, something that you'll be able to use as an example when you talk to potential future employers or seek that promotion in your job. So, the end of the process, you receive certificate from IIM Indore. You'll have the artifacts, the results of the work you've done in all of your projects and labs, including the capstone. You'll receive your live classes along the way, delivered by Indore faculty, along with earning alumni status from IIM Indore, very important for lifelong career networking. And if you wish to engage in the optional 3-day campus immersion, you can do so. That is the one aspect of the program that's additional cost. But everything else is included. We also include, for 6 months after you complete the certificate, a set of job assist services, India, from IIM Jobs, that gives access to a premium level of their jobs portal. It also gives you access to resume writers who will help with rewriting your resume to adapt to the automated systems that evaluate resumes when you submit them. It gives you the opportunity to match your resume best to the way the systems evaluate and filter people out based on job requirements. But it also, the writer will help you make sure that the resume remains attractive to the human eye. And finally, the one-on-one interview services. As you know, you have to clear a lot of interviews to get a job, from phone screens to in-person skills interviews to corporate fit and cultural fit interviews. All of these require you to put a different aspect of your personality front and center. So having the opportunity to practice these with real life partner is really valuable. Again, these services are available to you for 6 months after you earn your certificate. They're not a job guarantee or placement program, but they are helpful to you in your job search. So based on what we've shared with you and what Seema has talked about, the importance of upskilling and what I've shared with the nature of this program, are you interested in enrolling in this program? I'll just leave this open for about 10 seconds. I will close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. About 80% of you have said that you're interested. So I will share with you how to do that. So the enrollment information is pretty straightforward. You contact us at askus@simplilearn.net, and we will evaluate whether you've got the background to do this. Now, this program is designed for working professionals. You must have 2 or more years of work experience. That doesn't mean as a general manager or in management. It just means 2 or more years of experience in whatever type of work it is you do, so that you understand the role of or how a business functions, how organizations functions, and therefore something about the role of management. You also must have a bachelor's degree with at least 50% or higher marks. But you can come from any business background or industry sector. You do not have to be from a technology sector or from a business sector or a marketing sector or a finance sector. You can come in from any background. So with that in mind, when you contact us at askus@simplilearn.net, we will ask for some documentation for your educational background and your work experience. Evaluate that. If you are eligible for the program, we'll send you an offer letter. And this program will start, the next session starts 8 August with the induction. That's again that 2-hour online session to orient you to the program. And the actual classes, live classes, start September 9th. So if you are interested in getting started, please contact us right away. I've put the email and the program webpage URL in the chat. We do limit these cohorts to about 25 to 30 people. This is so that the instructors can have adequate interaction with each learner. And so please be mindful of that. Contact us as soon as possible. We'll get you started, or we'll get answers to your questions you have outstanding. The cost of the program is 2,47,800 rupee. The EMI financed for as little as 8,433 rupee per month. And should not have put the bonus offer. This there isn't one for this webinar. So let me just clarify that. But do reach out to us and ask us about enrollment, about the timings, and about future cohorts if you're looking down the road. So let's talk about how soon you would like to do this. If you are interested in enrolling, when would you like to start? It's a pretty simple question, so I'll just leave it open for about 5 seconds longer. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit your submit button, and here's the result. So about a third of our audience are interested in either starting in August or maybe September, October. Please contact us, ask us at simplylearn.net. If you're looking further down the road, again, we urge you to contact us so that you can be advised of future cohorts and so that you can get answers to your questions. And as Seema promised, here is her information. So I'll let her describe what's on this slide, your link tree, and where that QR code takes people.
Yes, so anyone who is interested in learning more about power skills, soft skills, communications, English speaking, any of these things, and if you want to enhance your personal branding, I am always available. So you can scan this QR code, or else you can visit my link tree, and my link tree account will have all the necessary addresses and IDs where I can be contacted. And these are my 2 books. You can, of course, go ahead and have a look at these 2 books also. And they are all to do with career enhancement and career growth. So my email is there, my contact number is there, and all my Linktree account is there. And I always have these sessions and one-to-one coachings on developing employability skills, developing your personal brand, your communications. So you can contact me regarding all these things. So thank you very much.
And we'll be sending a link to this recording in a follow-up email to everyone who attended. So you'll be able to see this information if you haven't jotted it down right now. You'll be able to review that and get in contact with Seema as well. So with that, I want to thank Seema so much for your generosity with your time and your knowledge, your expertise, helping our audience understand the importance of upskilling, the importance of developing their power skills, and the role of a general management program in developing their career. So thank you very much, Seema.
Thank you, Stuart, and thank you to all the participants for joining in today. It was a great session. Thank you so much.
Okay. And I want to reiterate what Seema just said. Thank all of you for joining us this evening or afternoon or morning, depending on where you are in the world. We appreciate your taking your time to join us and learn more about this area of the program from IIM Indore. We hope we can welcome you into the IIM Indore learning community with Simplilearn. And that concludes our webinar. So again, thank you so much.